Next we explore layers. To demonstrate layers, I have three graphics here: slice of pizza, a light bulb and a pencil. Your layers panel should be in the bottom right hand corner if you've set up the same as I have. So if we highlight the first graphic, which is the slice of pizza, and we click into our first layer in the layers panel, we click the arrow pointing right on layer 1, we see those three graphics within the layer: the light bulb, the pencil and the slice of pizza. Each doesn't have a name. However, if you find yourself with many elements within many layers, you will want to be organized and name each. If we highlight the slice of pizza, we'll see this highlighted in the layers panel, denoted by a blue box or square to the right hand side of the object. So if we want to give this slice of pizza a name, we would double click on its current name, which is defaulted at group, and we see an options panel pop up, and in this we can change the name, change that to pizza, click OK, and that will update in the layers panel, so it now reads pizza. Likewise, we select the light bulb, double click on group, its default name, and we type in light bulb. OK. Likewise, we select the pencil, double click on its default name and change it to pencil, clicking OK. Now those three objects have names and were more organised. Just to show you how the shapes are composed, we can look into each for each of its elements. So if we click the right arrow, we see all the parts of the light bulb. We can also go on to name these, but it's quite unnecessary and it is going into too much detail, especially if you only have a couple of objects as we do. 3 objects: pizza, light bulb and pencil. Likewise, we can see the elements of the pencil by clicking on the right arrow, the arrow pointing right. We see all the parts of the pencil, the top of the pencil, etc., the eraser at the bottom, and we can click the arrow for the pizza to see all the parts of that also. Now if we note the order of each in the layers panel, we see light bulb at the top, pencil next and pizza at the bottom. This is reflected in the canvas. You see, we move across the pencil, then we move across the pizza. You'll see that the light bulb is at the top, as it's at the top of the layer. The pencil is in the middle, as it's in the middle of the layer. And the pizza is at the back, or at the bottom, because it's at the bottom of the layer. Now, to be ultra organised, we will want to introduce additional layers. This is especially important if you're doing highly detailed work. Basically, setting up additional layers allows you to establish groups of objects. So it's a group within a group. So to set up another layer, we click this icon at the bottom, which is left of the trash can at the bottom of the layers panel. You click upon that, and this starts a new layer. You can see it's called layer 2. If we click that again, we have another layer, which is called layer 3. So if we name the first layer light bulb by double clicking on the name in the layers panel, double click layer 2 to name this pencil, double click layer 3 to name this pizza. So you'll see we now have 3 layers, one called light bulb, which already contains our 3 graphics, one empty layer called pencil, and another empty layer called pizza. You also note there's a colour next to each layer. This shows you how each object, or each layer rather, will highlight on the canvas. If we select something in the pencil layer, it'll highlight red, whereas if we highlight something in the pizza layer, it'll highlight green. So for this arrangement to be applicable, we're going to move the pencil that's currently in our light bulb layer into the pencil layer. So there we have it, it's now moved. We can see it moved if we click the arrow, and there we have it. Likewise, we're going to move pizza into its own layer, and if we click the arrow to the left, we see pizza in the pizza layer. So this represents the best possible arrangement and the best possible way to remain organised. Likewise, you'll also note that the pizza remains on the top, with the pencil in the middle and the light bulb at the bottom. Now that each has been assigned its own layer, you can now see each colour, which represents the colour in the layers panel. Pizza is green, the pencil is red, and the light bulb is blue. If you design simple logos, you may find that you only need a single layer, and you can easily go without naming each element or layers. However, you need to bear in mind that you will be passing these vector files onto your client, or the client may be passing them on to a printing company. With this in mind, it's a common courtesy and expectation of a professional logo designer to have all elements arranged in a cohesive format.